It's a gorgeous evening here in Clayton, Ohio for tonight's Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. And I'll tell you what, Jim, this is going to be a great game tonight. The Fairmont Firebirds, they come in 0-1. They lost a tough one last week to the Centerville Elks on a 95-yard kickoff return. The Northmont Thunderbolts, they got lucky enough. They had a 32-yard pass from Cade Rice to Marcus Allen to win the game in with 9 seconds left in the contest. They won it 40-36. Joining me this week is Jim Place, former head coach. And Jim, what do you know about these teams?
Talk about contrasting styles. Fairmont is going to run the ball, and then they're going to run it some more. Northmont's just the opposite. They're going to spread the entire field. They're going to get the ball to the playmakers in playmaking situations. Either way, the kicking game is going to be huge. If Northmont can force Fairmont into 80-yard drives, advantage Northmont. If Fairmont can get a short field and get into 4-down territory very quick, advantage Fairmont. These are two of the top teams in Miami Valley, and we got a great game on hand for you tonight.
Our third member of the broadcast team today is Danielle Malagary. She's going to be roaming the sidelines. Danielle, send it over to you.
Hey, Doug, like you said, it is a perfect day for some football. The fans are ready. The players are ready. I just spoke to one of the Northmont players, and I said, are you excited about the game? He's like, yep, I've been ready since last Friday, so it should be a really good match. Again, the weather is absolutely perfect. Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters breaks down our football forecast.
Beautiful weather for football tonight. Temperatures will start off in the 70s. We'll see lots of sunshine, lower humidity. Temperatures begin to drop after sunset, back in the 60s around 8 p.m. and then the 50s after sunset around 10 p.m. or so. So looking pretty good if you're heading out to the games for this evening.
We'll be right back with the coin toss and the opening kickoff right after this timeout. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, a special Friday edition sponsored by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. We'll be right back after this.
What are you going to call? What's he going to call?
Tails.
It's a hit.
Back here at Premier Health Stadium, the coin toss going on right now. And the Northmont Thunderbolts have won the toss, and they will receive. So we're going to see some.
Northmont has won the toss and elected to defer.
You know, the official tonight is Bobby Giuliano. Congratulations to Bobby. He just got inducted into the Ohio Officials Hall of Fame this past winter, and he's one of the real good ones. He's the league assigner. He and his crew have been together for 21 years. This is a top crew tonight.
Top crew for the top TV?
Yeah, that's right. He's bringing out the best in everybody, Doug.
So good crowd on hand. I was talking to the athletic director earlier, and they said 995 people are here. That's how many tickets were sold, or 997. So that's how they're social distanced. And here's the keys to the game, Jim.
All right, first of all, Fairmont, they want to keep their offense on the field. They're going to try and get 4 yards a clip, 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards, move the chains. They want 7 or 8 yards, 70 or 80-yard drives. They can't have any turnovers, though. A turnover is killing the offense. For Northmont, they feel like the kicking game is going to dictate field position. If Fairmont has to drive 80 yards, it's an advantage to Northmont. If Fairmont gets short field, it can go to 4-down territory. That's it. And here's the big thing. Northmont wants to get the ball into their big playmakers' hands. And here we go.
Here we go. This kickoff is brought to you by Garage Kings, another Garage King kickoff. And getting the ball will be Ethan Somm, and Somm will get up to about the 35-yard line. And that's where the Firebirds will start tonight's game. Tonight's first down by Fairmont is brought to you by Aristocrat Products. It's another Aristocrat Products first down.
There you see the offensive skill, people, for Fairmont. That Tank Gant is a load. He's a second-team All-GWAC player. Malik Hilton is returning quarterback. They've got some talent there, but watch for the big Tank. You know, that offensive line is big, especially the sophomore. Cruz, a 300-pounder. He's a major college prospect.
Starting lineup is being brought to you by Premier Health. Our care lives here. Here's the handoff to Tank.
No surprise what they run there. They come out with just their base offense, right off tackle right, and they pick up 4 yards, which is what they want. The Northmont defense, led by a host of returning starters, 9 starters back on defense. Eli Newberg, number 40, he's a good one. He's got MAC offers. But the real special ones are the defensive backs. Their 4x1 team is one of the fastest in the state. Lots of talent over there on defense.
That starting lineup was brought to you by Premier Health. Our care lives here. In at quarterback is Malik Hillen. Hillen underneath center. They'll hand off to Gant. Tank Gant, not going to go anywhere. Maybe a yard or two, and that's it. And penalty markers are down. And looks like a legal shift by the Firebirds. Here's Bob Giuliano.
We have a legal shift on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That is something that Fairmont just cannot do. Both the halfbacks went in motion. That's just a mistake. You know, that is not part of their offense. Instead of 2nd and 6 and in good position for their first down and moving the chains, they now go to 2nd and 11. That's not what they want to do.
Two receivers to one receiver to the right or to the left side. As Hillen looking over to Coach Miller for the sign. Tank Gant in the backfield. 2nd and 12. And Hillen gets it back to Gant. Gant's got some running room. He's to the 40, to the 30, to the 25, 20, 10. And into the end zone goes Tank Gant. A touchdown by Fairmont is brought to you by Wayne Overhead Door Sales.
That's the pitch play. And hold on. We got a yellow flag down on the field. And Coach Dave Miller's got to be sick about that. Everything you want to happen. It looks like it's going to be holding, and it's going to be a penalty to bring that touchdown back.
Holding on the offense, number 18. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Anas Musani. I hope I pronounced that game right.
Here's a replay, your Toyota replay. There you see the pitch to Keon Wright, and he is a speedster. Coach Miller talks about how fast he is. Now let's see if you can see the holding there. It's on number 18 on the wideout. I'd like to take another look at that one. Bob Giuliano and his crew are the top crew in the area. I know Coach Miller not real happy with that call. Either way, it's 2nd down and 4.
Here we go.
Let's see if Coach chooses to go back to that pitch again.
Once again, Tank Gant in the backfield. Hillen going back underneath center for the Firebirds, dressed in their white jerseys with blue pants, blue numbers, and blue helmets. Northmont in their green jerseys with white numbers. Here's a handoff to Gant. Gant is going to be stopped for a pickup of maybe 2.
You know, one thing you'll notice when the Fairmont offense comes out, they just stop for a while and they look over to Coach Miller. One of the things that's happening is Coach Miller is looking at the play clock. They're not going to start the play until there's about 7 seconds on the play clock. They want to get as much of the clock run off as they can. That's why they pause before each play. Also, Coach Miller gets a good look at what the defense is. 3rd and 2, I think Fairmont would take this. This is where they want a situation they want to be in.
Live formation. 3 men in the backfield. Here's a handoff to Gant. Gant is close to the first down, but I think he's just a little bit short. Maybe a yard short. Heinberger, the tackler. So it's going to be 3rd and a yard.
You know, for many teams, this 4th and 1 is a decision. I don't think this is a decision for Coach Miller at all. They want 4th and 1. This is what they practice for. This is part of their philosophy. There's no doubt they're going for 4th and 1.
Here come the Firebirds up to the line of scrimmage. As you notice, there's an orange beanbag there. The center keeps the ball the entire time. There's a handoff to Gant. Gant's got the first down and more up to the 49-yard line. It was dropped there by Rod Moore.
That's obviously their power formation. When they get in the short yardage, you're going to put the big tank back there in the deep I backfield and give them the ball.
That first down by Fairmont was brought to you by Aristocrat Products. It's another Aristocrat Products first down. 8:53 remaining here in the first quarter. No score. Fairmont has had the ball the entire game so far. They like to run the ball, that's for sure. Last week, Hillen only passed the ball one time.
They've got a formation here where they have a tackle over, which means they have 4 linemen to the right and both halfbacks to the right. I should look for the big tank to run off the right side here.
Tank going into motion now, coming over to the near side. He's got the ball, and he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to lose a yard. Dropped by a whole bunch of Thunderbolts. He was led by number 27 of the Bolts, and that is Colin Enox.
Northmont did a nice job adjusting to that formation of the Firebirds. I'm sure that they had that formation well scouted and knew that they only had X number of plays. Now they're back to their base formation, which they run the offense out of.
So second and 11. Gant back in the backfield once again. 2 men on either side. Here's a handoff to Tank once again. Gant is brought down at about the 50-yard line, so a pickup of 2.
That's just their basic option play. What happens on that play is the front side tackle blocks down to the inside, and they leave a man on the line of scrimmage, and they read him. If he closes, the quarterback pulls it. If he doesn't close, he gives the ball to Tank. That time he didn't close. I'm surprised Tank didn't get more yardage.
If you have any pictures from tonight's game or want to join us online on the online discussion or in on the discussion online, follow us on Twitter, Dayton 24/7 now, and use the hashtag Thursday Night Lights. Here we go. Once again, man in motion. Now the handoff, fake to Tank. Handoff goes to Keon Wright, and he's going to pick up maybe 3 yards up to down to the 46-yard line. So that's going to be 4th and 5 for the Firebirds. Now, what do you put your coaching hat on? What do you do? Punt it away or go for it?
Well, I think most coaches would punt here, but we have Coach Miller sending the punting team out. It's a game of field position. He doesn't want to give Northmont a short field, so he's going to punt the ball. You know, Keon Wright was off the house that time. I thought he was going to score, and out of nowhere came Rod Moore, the Michigan commit, and that's why he's going to Michigan to make plays like that, and tackled Keon Wright in the open field, saving a touchdown. You know, one thing, Fairmont looks awful good on that pitch. Northmont's got a whole lot of people inside. I look for Fairmont to go to the pitch a lot tonight.
Back deep for the Northmont Thunderbolts will be Javion Brownlee and Rod Moore.
You know, one thing about it, 6 minutes and 17 seconds left on the clock. By the time they kick this ball, there's going to be 6 minutes. They ate an entire half of the quarter. That's exactly what Coach Miller wants to do. And his plan is pin them deep here, see what happens.
Kicking the ball for the Firebirds will be Will Holt. Once again, back deep, it'd be Brownlee and Moore. And a fake pitch back to the kicker, and he's going to make it. No, he did not make it to the first down. That was Holt. It was a fake, but the Thunderbolts were ready for it. So they're going to turn it over on downs. They're going to mark it at the...
Here's a replay. Well-designed play. You know, it's an option with the snap to the up man, and then he's going to pitch the ball back to the kicker. One thing, Northmont's got all those athletes on the field that can run. 9 returning starters. They just with too much speed.
You're watching Premier Health Thursday Night Lights special Friday night edition presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. We'll be right back after this timeout. Back here at Premier Health Stadium, no score with 5:49 to go. The Fairmont Firebirds went for the 4th down and failed on it. And now it'll be time for Cade Rice and the Northmont Thunderbolts to take over. Going over to the far side will be Marcus Allen. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Rice, a transfer from Greenon High School. In the shotgun. Goes back to pass, looking downfield. And he's going to tuck it and run. He's to the 45, to the 50. Still on his feet to the 45, down to the 40-yard line. Brought out of bounds by Jacob DeGlow.
Now you see the Northmont offense coming out on the field. Very talented, skilled players. All those are Division I prospects. They are loaded on the offensive side of the ball.
Here we go. They're a quick offense. That first down, or starting lineup brought to you by Premier Health. Here's Rice. He's going to fire over to the far side. And it's incomplete to Darius Blanks. So it'll be second down.
There's a defense that's built around their linebackers. Very big, quick linebackers led by Caleb Fortner.
It's starting lineups being brought to you by Premier Health. Our care lives here. So there we go. Rice going back to pass, looking over to his right. Now he's going to pull it down, run to his left, and run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A pickup of a yard, second down and 9 for the Thunderbolts at the Firebird 40-yard line. Like you said, this team likes to run and pass both ways.
Here they go, no huddle, and they're coming right at you. You talk about two contrasting styles of offense.
Cameron Jones in the backfield. Two receivers to either side. Rice marks out the play, changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Rice going back to pass, fires it over to the near side, has Allen at the 30, and he spin moves and goes out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. That's going to be another first down. It's going to be another aristocrat first down.
And that's the Michigan commitment. They want to get the ball into his hands and see if he can beat people one-on-one. Luckily, Fairmont had a whole lot of people there, led by Justin Tone, coming up to make the tackle.
That replay brought to you by Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Cameron Jones last week had a good night. Here comes Allen into motion, going over to the far side. Rice rolling to his right, now stops, pops, fires downfield, and overshoots Rod Moore. No, I take that back. That's not Rod Moore. That is T.J. Gregory.
T.J. Gregory, good-looking junior, 6'3". It appears the University of Cincinnati is getting ready to offer him a scholarship. They've got Division I players all over the place, these Northmont skilled players, and they can beat you on any play. T.J. Gregory, another in a line of great Northmont receivers.
2nd and 10, 5:16 remaining here in the first quarter. No score between Northmont and Fairmont. Rice in the shotgun once again. Hand off to Cameron. Cameron's got the ball. He's up to down to the 20-yard line, close to a first down.
You know, Fairmont defensive coordinator Stevie McDonald, he's a good one, former UD star. He's come out in a 3-3 defense, and he's obviously trying to stop that passing attack. We'll see whether Northmont runs the ball with Fairmont committing so many people to the pass, but they've only got 3 down linemen.
3 receivers to the far side with Cameron Jones in the backfield. 2nd down and 1, or 3rd and 1. Hicks will hand off to, Cade Rice will hand off to Jones. Jones close enough for a first down. We'll see where they mark it. And I don't think he's got the first down.
No, Coach McDonald dialed up a blitz there, and worked very well. That nose guard for Fairmont is a monster. Damian Cusswaller, 6'5", 265. He's only a sophomore. He is a Division I prospect, and one of the young players that Coach Miller is looking to build his program around. He jammed that middle up there, and let's see what happens on 4th and 1. Are they going to run right at Cusswaller again?
Here we go. As Rice in the shotgun. He's going to hand off to Jones once again. Jones is going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and that's going to turn the ball back over to the Firebirds. So both defenses have come up big here in this first quarter.
Coach McDonald dialed up the blitz again. Colin McLaughlin came off the corner and got back in the backfield.
We're going to toss it down to Danielle. What do you got?
Doug, I am over here with Leah. She is a Northmont cheerleader. It is senior night tonight. How excited are you to have your family here?
I am so excited that they were able to make things work for us and move it to our first game, because most of us have been cheering for a very long time. This is going to be our last time together.
Aw, well, it's so nice that you guys are together. What is your favorite cheer?
My favorite cheer is probably LCS Shield, because I've been doing it since 2nd grade.
Awesome. Well, good luck tonight. We're going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Danielle. 1st and 10 for the Fairmont Firebirds. Ball at the 20-yard line, or 21-yard line. Hand off to Gant. Gant's going to get up to about the 22-yard line, or 23-yard line.
That plays a predetermined dive. When you see the quarterback reverse out like that, he's not reading anything. He's going to give the ball to Tank. They're not option blocking and leaving someone open on the line of scrimmage. They're going to give the ball to the big tailback, fullback all the way. Just what they want, 4 yards.
Wide receiver coming to the near side, and Alex Braun. I think that's just a decoy because they, like I said, they only threw the ball one time last week. Of course, they could really surprise the Northmont Thunderbolts on that one. Hillen underneath center once again. Gant in the backfield. Handoff, or no, fake handoff. And there he goes, and throw the pass. Incomplete. That was to A.J. Mullen. And it's incomplete, so it'll be third down. There's the pass.
Well, that's one thing about it. Nobody's expecting it, and A.J. made a great effort. You're talking about inches from a touchdown. Coach Miller pulled that out of his bag of tricks. And that was our Toyota replay.
Here we go. Going over to the far side is Lusami. And I don't know if I got that name right. We'll have to talk to the coaches as they come out of the coach's box. So here we go. Hillen going in. Hillen pitches over to Wright. Wright has running room. He's to the 50 and pulled down into the Northmont territory at about the 43-yard line. That's going to be a Fairmont Firebird first down, brought to you by Aristocrat Products. Another Aristocrat Products first down.
You know, it looks like that play, Northmont's giving something up. Well, that play is being made by the blocking of the wideouts. Their wideouts are really doing a great job blocking downfield. Northmont's shutting down the dive, they're shutting down the quarterback, but those wideouts are opening that drive up for Keon Wright, and he is a blazer. Another touchdown-saving tackle by Rod Moore on the Michigan commit.
So here we go, 1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. He must have stepped out of bounds. Here's a handoff to Gant. Gant up the middle. And he's still on his feet. Like you said, Coach, he's a load to bring down. He'll pick up about 5 yards down to the 42-yard line. And that's where the market.
You know, you talk about those Fairmont wideouts. One of the ones that's really neat, his name is Alex Braun. He is 5'5", 150 pounds, and he's a starting wideout. I asked him this week at practice, Alex, how do you feel? He said, Coach, I am so proud that I have worked into this position that Coach Miller has the confidence. Watch him. He plays his heart out. Alex Braun.
18. Braun, or this time to the wideout is Damon Groves. And a whistle. Here's Bob Giuliano with the call.
You know, that's called stop motion. That is a big part
false
of the Fairmont
start
offense.
On the offense, number 14, 5-yard penalty.
I don't know what the official saw
First
there.
down.
I mean,
Second
I
down.
love this crew. Bob Giuliano, he's a Hall of Famer, and his whole crew is one of the best. I'm not real sure what they saw there. That's an intentional thing that running back does. He goes in motion, stops, and then goes back. Two things, it eats clock, but also gives Coach Miller a chance to see what adjustments are being made. I don't think Coach Miller was real happy with that call.
No. Here we go. Gant in the backfield.
That's that end over look again.
There's a handoff to Gant. Gant gets up to the 40 or down to the 45-yard line. It'll be second or third down and about 7 from the 45.
We're down to 1:49 left in the first quarter. Fairmont is eating the clock. You know, I'd say so far as tempo of the game, things favor these Firebirds.
2 receivers, 1 to either side. Gant in the backfield. Hillen steps back. They're going to look at over to the sidelines. Less than 10 seconds on the play clock. And in motion, the handoff, or fake handoff. They'll send it over to Logan Adams. And he'll get up to the 40-yard line and pick up a 5. It'll be third down and 2 from the 40-yard line.
Here we go, 4th down. I don't think there's any doubt. Wait a minute, Coach Miller's sending out the punting team. Would he call the fake again? You never know. You know, one of the things that appears that Northmont's doing in their defense is that the middle linebacker, Philip Kwanzaa, and he is a good one, first-team All-GWOC player, appears to have the quarterback both ways, both to the right and left, which means that they can free up more people to stop the big tank. We'll see whether that's going to work or whether Malik Hilton will shake Philip during the course of the game.
Holt will boot it away. Last time it was a fake punt and a whistle. And we have a...
That might have been intentional. I think 5 yards back
on the offense. 5-yard
he's got
penalty.
Plenty of field to kick it into.
Fourth down.
Coach Miller's hoping he buries it inside the 20 rather than kicking the end zone. That might have been an intentional penalty.
So it'll be 4th down and 8 from the 45. Moore and Brownlee back deep for the Thunderbolts. Short kick coming down, and Brownlee has it at the 15. He's to the 20, to the 25, and pushed out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. With 31.2 seconds left in this first. You're watching Premier Health Thursday Night Lights special Friday night edition, presented by Cincinnati Toyota dealers. Back after this. Tonight, after the Premier Health Thursday Night Light Special Friday Night Edition, presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers, watch Dayton 24/7 now and get connected.
Yeah, then I'd like to talk a little bit about number 10. You'll see him lined up. He's an outside linebacker for Fairmont. His name is Justin Tone. And after this play, I'm going to tell you a little more about this young man. It is a special story.
There we go. Man coming in motion is Brownlee. Here's the pass over to the near side. He's got Brownlee in and out of his hands.
So let's talk about number 10, Justin Tone. When he was 13 years old, he and his family moved here from the Congo. And I asked him, what was it like in the Congo? He said it was a really rough time over there. He said, I worked hard and did a lot of things. He did not play football. As a matter of fact, when he reported for practice, the first 2 weeks, he thought he was at soccer practice. Now he's a 17-year-old senior and one of the top players in the GWOC. Justin Tone, number 10. It's a great story.
Here's Rice. Rice going back to pass, a little pass to Brownlee. Brownlee gets up to the 25 and to the 26. And that's going to be pickup of maybe 2, and that's going to be 3rd down and 8.
Stevie McDonald, defensive coordinator, changed up his defense and went into what's called cover 2 man, where each of the receivers had a man covering him right at the line of scrimmage, and then 2 deep. Awful hard to throw a bubble into that. It's no wonder it didn't get much.
That's the end of the first quarter. Your score, Fairmont nothing, Northmont nothing. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights special Friday night edition presented by Cincinnati Toyota dealers. Back after this. You're watching Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, a special Friday edition presented by Cincinnati Toyota dealers. No score as we move to the second quarter of play. Brownlee and Allen out wide to the left. Cameron Jones in the backfield, 2 receivers to the near side. Cade Rice in the shotgun. Gets a good snap, going back to pass, looking over to his right. Now he's going to be flushed out of the pocket, and he's still on the move. Coming to the near side, he's going to fire downfield, and it's going to be knocked away by Caleb Young of the Firebirds. And it's going to be incomplete. It'll be 4th down now for the Thunderbolts at their own 27-yard line. Here's the Premier Health instant replay.
Well, you see the athleticism of Caden Rice there to escape a lot of different Fairmont tacklers. On that 3rd and long, Fairmont took a lot of their big guys out and put in some pass rushers, a little more athletic. But Caden Rice, a little more athletic. He's still looking to find Marcus Allen to break that big one.
They will punt it away now. Nice punt coming down. And it's going to be picked up and fallen on by Joseph Scrivens. Or no, I take that back. It is Logan Adams who bobbled it, fell on it. Nice punt.
That's what Coach Boring was hoping for. He was hoping for a field position battle that his punter would get off a great kick. Fairmont's got to go 75 yards, a little tough in their offense. There you see a picture of Coach Boring. He's one of the really class young coaches in the Miami Valley. He's also the head track coach, and he also teaches a full schedule of social studies. He said it's really challenging, the teaching situation, but he's just glad and happy to be doing both.
So here we go, 1st and 10, ball resting at the 24-yard line for the Firebirds. Hilton underneath center, Gant back in the backfield once again, and hand off to Gant. Gant is going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. If he picks up one, I'd be surprised. Yeah, they're going to move it up to the 25-yard line.
Number 27,
Enoch's in on the stop for the Firebird, or for the Thunderbolts. Just underway here in quarter number 2, no score. They played basically between the 20-yard lines. They got a new lighting system here. I was told, I was over here the other day, and they just put these lights up, and it's, I understand they're very bright LED lights. So we'll see here in a few minutes. So here's Hillen underneath center once again. He's going to keep it this time on the quarterback keeper. Gets up to the 29-yard line. And he's going to be stopped on the play.
That play is what's called a tap-tap. And what that means is the quarterback comes out, and if he thinks he can get 4 yards or more, he will give the center a little tap, and just he and the center take off, and he got his 4 yards on tap-tap. That's a call that is automatic. We'll see whether Northmont leaves that double A-gap open, A-gap meaning the gap right next to the center, and see whether Malik Hilton takes advantage of it with a tap-tap.
3rd down and 5, ball resting at the 29-yard line. Hillen underneath center once again. And Hillen's going to hand off to Gant. Gant's going to be get up to the 30.
Brought down by the Thunderbolts, number 66.
At the 33-yard line. A little short of the 1st down.
You know, tackle on that by Philip Kwanzaa. He's the middle linebacker. He's all conference. Oh, what a player he is. You see him in there, number 56. There's something really, and a whole lot of other people, too, for that fact. But, you know, the neat thing about Philip Kwanzaa is he's the student rep for the entire Northmont student body to the Northmont Board of Education. 4th and 1. Is Coach Miller going to dial up the play, or is he going to try and draw him off sides?
He got 3 men in the backfield in the eye. There's a handoff to Gant. Gant around the right side. He's got the 1st down and more. Ball up to the 36-yard line.
You know, you're playing the number 1 team in the Miami Valley in the Northmont Thunderbolts. Coach Miller's coming in here and rolling the dice. He's not coming in to keep it close. He's coming in to win this football game. You know, 4th and 2, deep in his own territory. He feels pretty good about that.
That 1st down was brought to you by Arby's. We got the meat. I wanted to say that anyway. We got the meats. I'm not James Earl Jones or anything like that, but it was fun to do.
Yeah, between you and I, Doug, there's a whole lot of beef sitting up here, about 500 pounds worth.
Here we go. Gant gets the handoff once again, and he's going to get about 3 yards on the play.
Boy, it sure seems like that quarterback, Malik Hilton's coming out there scot-free. Let's see if he pulls it out of there. I think Philip Kwanzaa might be getting a little heavy on the dive. Let's see what they come back with here.
You know, when Dave Miller took over this team, he's really turned this program around. So here we go once again. Hilton looking over to Miller for the sign. 8:25 and counting here in this 2nd quarter.
They're killing the clock, eating as much clock. He's looking down at the play clock. They're not going to go to on 7.
Here we go. Handoff to Gant once again.
You know, Doug, you talked about culture. When you talk to Coach Dave Miller, and he's actually Dave Miller Jr., he talks about every one of his coaches has a tie to him. Some of them played high school with him. Some of them coached at Covington or Twin Valley South with him. But they all totally understand and buy into the culture. And as soon as you say, Dave, where did you get the culture from? He says, before you can bring out Bob Gregg. You know, he played for Bob Gregg at Centerville. It's all Bob Gregg stuff. And Dave does it, carried on Bob Gregg's tradition of the wishbone offense, and just very, very disciplined, hard-nosed football like Coach Gregg when he had his dynasty at Centerville Elks.
Here comes Hillen underneath center once again. He'll hand off to Gant once again. It's Gant in a line of dusk.
Brought down by the Thunderbolts.
If you have any pictures of tonight's game and want to join in on the discussion online, follow us on Facebook at Dayton 24/7 now and use the hashtag Thursday Night Lights.
All right, here comes the beef. Looks like they're going to go to the power I again. They got a couple big boys in front of them. They bring a couple linemen to go in front of Chank there, take out the running backs. I don't think there's anybody in the park any doubt what's going on here.
I think Tank's bigger than both of them.
Yeah.
There's Dillon underneath center again. The handoff to Tank. Tank around the side. He's got the first down and a couple of more. That first down, that Fairmont first down, is brought to you by Arby's. There you go, Arby's first down. I haven't had an Arby's in a while.
Sounds good, Doug.
That does sound good, doesn't it?
You know, for most people, 4th and 2 is a real thinker. It's not for Coach Miller. That's part of their offensive strategy.
1st and 10, ball resting at the 47-yard line with 6:24 remaining here in the first half. No score between Fairmont and Northmont. It's a lot different tonight than it was last week.
Yeah, we got a ball game tonight.
That's right.
You see him eating the clock. Clock 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and there's the
Hillen missed play, and Hillen keeps it. Gets into Northmont territory, I think.
Quarterback went the wrong way. That was not designed. He knows it. He just made a mistake. But he's enough of an athlete to make something happen and got 3 yards out of it. So we got 2nd and 7. And
ball resting at the 50-yard line.
Continues to run at 5:45. You know, we're sort of looking at a Fairmont kind of ball control that they want.
Damon Groves over to the right side.
Malik was a starter last year as a sophomore. He's only a junior. He got a whole lot of good football ahead of him.
Hillen back underneath center with Gant behind him. There's a handoff, or fake handoff. Ball goes to Wright. Wright will get up to get down to the Northmont 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Here they go to the pitch again. And once again, look at that wide out blocking. 14th doing a good job out there. Almost sprung it. You know, one of the wide outs is Connor Miller, a 5'9", 150-pound junior. Does that name sound familiar? His dad's the head coach. His older brother is the quarterback coach. So they keep it in the family.
That replay brought to you by Toyota Dealers of Cincinnati. Gant's a load to bring down, too, isn't he? Here's a handoff, and it's going to Gant once again, and he's close to the first down. We'll see where they're going to mark it. Brought down by Colin Enox.
Another 4th down. Let's see if Northmont dials up some heat here. I think they'll bring some linebackers. Everybody in the stadium knows that the Tank is going to get the ball. Let's see if Northmont brings some heat with their linebackers.
The 4th and 1. Ball at the 44-yard line. Hillen looking over towards Miller once again.
11, 10, 9. They're going at 7. They're going to eat that clock.
Here's a handoff to Gant. Gant has a first down and more. Up to down to the 41-yard line.
The right side of that Fairmont line is moving some people. They've got a player over there, Enoch Cruz, 6'5", and I think they stopped the scale at 300 to be kind to him. I think he's around 320. He's a sophomore. He's another Division I prospect. He's only a sophomore. Fairmont is loaded with good young talent. A lot of good sophomore players around the area.
That Fairmont first down, brought to you by Arby's.
Well, I'll tell you what, they sure gamble on those 4th downs. Talk about good sophomores. They got a good one out at Northmont, or out at Centerville. Jacob Meyer, he's a good one.
3:18 remaining here in the first half. No score. Game moving along quite quickly. Here's Gant, and he's going to be stood up at the line of scrimmage, maybe a pickup of 1. Timeout. Timeout called by Northmont. You're watching Premier Health Thursday Night Lights. You're watching Premier Health Thursday Night Lights special Friday edition presented by Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. No score. Back after this.
Boltman is in the house.
As you see him right there on our screen with 3:04 to go here in the first half. No score between the Firebirds and the Thunderbolts.
You know, I was talking earlier about Coach Miller. His father is a coaching legend, a member of the Miami Valley Football Coaches Hall of Fame, head coach at Beaver Creek, head coach at Piqua. His mom is a Fairmont grad. Both mom and dad are both Fairmont grads.
So here we go. As
there's that stop motion.
Yeah, it looks like right.
Go see what the Northmont formation is, then they'll go from there.
Right coming into motion, looks like the left guard
want to do.
Left guard took off, I think, or somebody took off too early.
Yeah, it was the wing back. He just jumped the count.
Dead ball, illegal procedure on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
So if he's second down and 14, or second down and 15.
Talking about Coach Miller and that Fairmont culture, Coach Miller told me he is convinced that this is where he belongs. Well, there you see the wing back jump. You know, sometimes when you replay that with that stop motion, the players forget what the count is.
The replay brought to you by Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Here we go once again. Two receivers, one to either side. Gant in the backfield. Right into motion, and Helen keeps it. He's got the first down, or no, he doesn't. I saw the marker, and he just got the... We have a whistle and a timeout called by Northmont, so they're trying to make the Northmont Thunderbolts, or the Firebirds. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights special Friday edition, presented by the Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. No score. We'll be right back after this. Back here at Premier Health Stadium. Every week on MyTV Dayton, we will have high school football action on Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Next week, we will be in Clark County with the Indian Lake Lakers taking on the Northwestern Warriors. That'll be the first time either one of these schools have been on Thursday Night Lights. Then we go to Covington the week after with Fort Laramie and Covington. We'll pick a game on week 5, and then on the final game of the 6 games will be at Centerville High School, the Chaminade Julienne Eagles and the Alter Knights. That ought to be a dandy, and you know all about the Knights. And here we go. Nice run by Anasicki, and he's down to the 15-yard line. Make it the 16-yard line.
Yeah, that's a changeup. That's the first time that we saw it's called the midline. On that particular play, the fullback dives right over the center. And the other option, he goes over the tackle, and it draws the middle linebacker in, freed up the pitch, and a nice big game by Fairmont. Replay brought to you by our Toyota of Greater Cincinnati.
And a Fairmont first down brought to you by Arby's. Here we go. Once again, Gant in the backfield. They are in the Donato's delivery zone. Running that clock down. 2:45 left in this
13,
first half.
12, 11.
Hillen now underneath center. Man going in motion. Hand off to, or Hillen's going to keep it. Get down to the 14-yard line.
You know, Doug, I was talking about the culture of Coach Miller. He told me that he is convinced that he is supposed to be the head coach at Fairmont High School. Mom and Dad both went there. He just really believes that everything he's done in his coaching career was to lead him to be the head coach at Fairmont High School. He just loves it, and boy, they got a good one there. I know the Fairmont community appreciates him. He's also a character coach. He stresses character. Here we go.
Hillen back underneath center.
2:12 left in the half.
And counting. Second down and 8. Ball at the 15-yard line.
4.
Here comes Gant once again off the left side. He'll get down to about the 11-yard line. Hunter Park in on stop for the Thunderbolts. The third down and about 5. They're up to the line of scrimmage.
They're going to quick snap him.
Pitch over to Gant. Gant going over to the right side. He's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
There's a big play by Charles Lewis, a corner. He's a speedster. Here's an interesting fact about Charles Lewis.
We have a timeout, Northmont. That is their third and final
Charles coming
timeout.
up out there. What a sure tackle. He's given up about 50 pounds to the tank there.
Tank was brought down. It's now 4th down and 9. Timeout called by the
There you see number 7, Charles. He's very proud of his dad. His dad was an athlete, a star athlete at Dunbar High. His grandfather was a star athlete at Dunbar High. As a matter of fact, his grandfather had a tryout for the Harlem Globetrotters. But when you talk to Charles Lewis, he is a class act. He wants to tell you about how proud he is of the fact that his dad is a United States Marine. His dad served proudly in protecting our country, and I asked him who his hero was, man. He didn't even blink. He said, my dad and my grandfather. He said, I feel like I have a family legacy to carry on here. Of course, the Dunbar Wolverines have a great tradition down there.
They sure
do.
do.
The Dunbar guy, but he's out here at Northmont.
After the game, joined 24/7 Now. After the game with 24/7 Now News, and SmackDown.
Hey, Duck, you know, we gave the keys of the game. I would say that Fairmont's doing exactly what they want to do. They're eating clock. They're keeping Marcus Allen and the high-powered Northmont offense off the field. Field goal.
Here we go.
Number 6, Zach Hutchinson.
Zach Hutchison will try the field goal from about 32 yards out. Good snap. Kick is up. It's long enough, and it is no good. Wide to the left. And the Thunderbolts will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line with 1:33 to go. Now, what does Rice have to do? What's Rice have to do now?
All right, you know what? You got a minute 33. Most people would say, let's sit on it and just get out of this. There's a replay of the missed field goal. He got a little bit of heat coming off the corner. That was my man, Charles Lewis again. There he is celebrating. What do you think? I think they're going to go put it up. They got guys who can go the distance on any play. I don't think they're going to sit on this. That's not Coach Boring's personality. You got a tremendous quarterback in Cade Rice. Put the ball in his hands.
1:33 left here in this second quarter. Rice in the shotgun with. Here he's going back to pass. He dumps it over the middle. He's got Allen up to the 40-yard line.
Number 3, Marcus Allen.
And that's why he's going to Michigan. He caught that ball right in the middle of traffic. Knew he was going to get hit. Get the ball. Oh, no. Here we go. Here we go.
That first down brought to you by Arby's.
That took 7 seconds.
Rice back to pass, coming over to the near side. He's got Brownlee, but in and out of his hands. And that's going to stop the clock. 2nd down and 10 with the ball at the 41-yard line. 1:17 left. Here's the Premier Health replay. As you can see, it goes right in and out of his hands.
The defender had a little bit to do with that one. Nice job by the defender.
He brought it down, and it fell right out of his hands. Here we go. Rice back at it again. Taking his time now. Rice going over to his right. He's going to take.
Coach McDonald down up the heat.
He's going to tuck it and run and get out of bounds at the 48-yard line of Fairmont. That Northmont first down brought to you by Arby's.
The Fairmont's running some fresh bodies in there. Best drive of the night for Northmont. They're going no huddle, of course.
Brownlee and Allen to the left. Cameron Jones in the backfield. Here's Rice looking downfield. He's going to be almost brought down. Now he's going to fire down, and it's complete.
Number 82.
Yeah, Doug, I look for a draw here. Fairmont only has 5 what they call in the box, which means they have 5 up for the run, and they've got 6 back on the pass. I wouldn't be surprised to see a draw here. Northmont's got a timeout to give.
That pass was complete to blanks.
Nobody drugged that foot like an NFL player. You only need one in high school, but he gave it the NFL look there with the foot drag.
A replay brought to you by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. There's a pass over to the left side to Allen. Allen's got the first down and out of bounds. That's another Arby's first down. Northmont's first down brought to you by Arby's. Less than a minute to go here in this first half. No score. Fairmont tried a 32-yard field goal and did not make it. Now here comes Rod Moore into the offensive lineup to the near side.
You've got both Michigan commits on the field.
3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, and that would be Allen to the far side. Cameron Jones in the backfield, as Rice goes back to pass, fires. He's got a man open and more in and out of his hands down at the 5-yard line.
Fairmont went to a 2-deep defense, and what Northmont did is run 4 receivers straight down the field trying to split those safeties. Had a couple guys running wide open on those 4 verticals. A vertical means they just run straight up the field.
Premier Health.
The inside receiver tries to occupy the safety, but the outside receiver coming free.
That was a Premier Health instant replay. Our care lives here. Once again, in the shotgun is Rice. He's going back to pass, looking over to the right. And he's going to be brought down. No, he's not. He's going to be, yeah, he is. Brought down at the 46-yard line. Looks like Caleb Fortner brought him down.
Caleb Fortner is a great story. 6'5", 220 pounds. He was a free safety. Watch him bring the heat. There you go. He's got Caleb by the jersey. He was a free safety last year. Got hurt in the first game and couldn't play the rest of the season. They've got him at a defensive end, and he is a monster. Caleb Fortner.
Here's
big play.
Rice going back to pass once again. Looking around, fires down the field. He's got had a man open in Brownlee. And it's going to be 4th down and 16 with 15 seconds left in this fourth quarter, or in this second quarter. Still no score.
Great job by Cade Rice. Puts the ball right where in his hands and can't do a whole lot more than that. You know, one of the things that Tony Brewing talked to me about on Wednesday when I was at practice, he says, you know, our offense is going to sit on the sideline so long with those long drives. He said, I'm worried about them being mentally focused. You know, you might see Northmont offense, I'm not making excuses for them. You know, they've been on the bench so long, they're just a little off.
2 receivers to either side. Now 3 receivers to the near side and whistle. And we have a timeout called by Fairmont.
There he is, the Hall of Famer, Bobby Giuliano, signaling that timeout. 15 seconds left.
So 15.6 seconds left, no score. Brewing going over his offense with his team. Coming up at the half, we brought to you by Wright and Schulte.
There you see Coach Brewing in the middle of his team there. You know, Tony is a guy who is a great believer in loyalty. On his staff, every one of his varsity coaches is a Northmont grad. And get this, 3 of them are in the Northmont Hall of Fame, and 3 more are probably going to be in the Hall of Fame. The only coach from Northmont's Coach Bass, his defensive line coach who came with him from Springfield. Coach Bass works as a teacher at the Clark County Correctional Institute. So he really got his hands full helping young people. But Tony's a great believer in getting Northmont pride and building the culture that he wants through getting his players to appreciate how much pride they have in being Thunderbolts.
Attention high school administrators, football coaches, and boosters. If you want your school to be part of Thursday Night Lights or Premier Health Thursday Night Lights,
let's see if Coach McDonald dials up some heat.
Here we go. Rice going back to pass. Has 5 men going into going deep and going for more and touchdown. Touchdown, Northmont.
That is why he's going to Michigan. And the pass was perfect right on the. You couldn't be covered any better. You know, what are you going to do? Sometimes it's not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. And right there you saw a case of a Division I big-time player making a big-time play.
That Northmont touchdown is brought to you by Wayne Overhead Door Sales. Vaughn to attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 7.2 seconds left, it is the Northmont Thunderbolts 7, and the Fairmont
7 can't be any better. How did he get that ball? I mean, that is just an athlete. As simple as this. 7's in perfect position. You can't be any better than that. You know what, though? That is a case of the Jimmies and the Joes, not the X's and O's.
Yep.
He just made a play there. It's as simple as that. You know, I feel Coach Miller has got to be saying to his team, we did everything we wanted to. We controlled the clock. We did everything. But Coach Brewing did what he wanted to, get the ball to the big-time playmakers.
The scoring summary brought to you by Premier Health. Our care lives here. A 55-yard drive, touchdown to Rod Moore with 7.2 seconds left. 7-0. Back deep for the Firebirds is Ethan Somm and Caleb Young. Kickoff brought to you by Garage Kings. It's another Garage Kings kickoff. Nice boot coming down. It's going into the end zone. And that's going to bring it out to the 20-yard line for Fairmont with 7.2 seconds left.
That's the way to control field position, put in the end zone.
So 7-0.
First attempt for the Firebirds on the 20-yard mark.
Northmont leading it. Here comes the Firebirds out onto the Premier Health Stadium turf. This turf is going to be torn up after this year, and you're going to have new turf here next year, from what I understand. Like I said, new lighting here. You can't even see the light if the lights are on or not until you see them on the field. And they're going to take a knee, Fairmont is, and that's going to do it here in the first quarter. Your score at the end of one quarter play, Northmont 7 and Fairmont nothing. A good ball game here at Premier Health Stadium. Your thoughts so far the first half?
Both teams doing what they want to do. Fairmont controlled the ball, controlled the clock, did everything. They missed a field goal, and they didn't convert. And when a couple of key downs down in Northmont territory, Northmont got the ball to a big playmaker. I mean, that was strictly a great play by a great player. But when you got great players, you get them the ball. I mean, that's as simple as that. So I would say this. Both teams are doing what they want to do. We're going to have a great second half. These are two good football teams.
We're going to try and get Tony Broering here real quick. He took off already. So there he is. We're going to send it down to... No, she's not with him yet. Wait a minute. Is she? All right, now we'll send it down to Danielle Malagary with Coach Broering. Danielle?
They were going to do. And as you could tell, they just want to keep the ball away from us. Until that last drive, I mean, they score quick, but I mean, they're doing a good job. Give a lot of credit to Dave and his staff. They've done a nice job with what they're doing. So, I mean, it's a tough game. It is every year. Fairmont, Northmont, it's like this every year.
Talk about that last touchdown.
Well, that's just, Rod Moore. I mean, he's going to Michigan for a reason. So he just went up and made a great play.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to send it back to you, Doug.
Thank you, Danielle. 7-0. Thunderbolts leading it on a nice pass from Rice to Moore. You're watching Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, Friday night special edition, presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers.
Halftime is brought to you by Wright and Schulte.
Hi, I'm Micah Harding, Athletic Director at Northmont High School. I'd like to start off by thanking Dayton 24/7 Now for being here for this special Friday edition of Thursday Night Lights. Obviously, this means a lot to our community, to our families, to our kids, our student athletes, for you guys to be here tonight and give us the opportunity to play a game on local television. So a lot of planning went into making this happen. This week we started remote learning, and a couple weeks ago we started with athletics. So we want to thank all of our coaches, all of our kids, all of the parents for everything they did to help make this first week of remote learning and these first couple weeks of athletics happen. Tonight, you're going to notice as you come into the stadium, we've made a lot of adjustments to accommodate all of the COVID guidelines that came from the governor's office. As you come to the game tonight, you're going to see green tape. Taped areas indicate areas where fans are permitted to sit. We also have red X's marking our student section for seating for individuals. We also ask that fans in attendance tonight wear a mask and maintain social distancing of at least 6 feet. It took a lot of planning and a lot of hard work to get here, and we want to make sure that our student athletes get the full season in. So thank you again to Dayton 24/7 Now for being here.
Fairmont is so excited to be a part of Thursday Night Lights. We look at it as an honor and privilege to be back to a little bit of normalcy, have an opportunity for our players, our coaches, our musical performers, our community and parents to have a chance to play and experience something that's awesome in the high school experience, which is Thursday Night Lights. So we are invested, we're looking forward to it, and go Birds. Kettering City Schools and Fairmont High School are so excited and enthusiastic about this opportunity for Thursday Night Lights. Really from an aspect of what we lost in the spring, school and class time, extracurriculars, proms, graduation ceremonies. There was such a sense of loss, unknown, restrictions, just unprecedented. Coming into this year, we didn't quite know what to expect, from the classroom to extracurriculars, the impact on the community, but when we got an opportunity to roll out.
We're excited to be a part of Thursday Night Lights here at Premier Health. Schools are the heart of the community, and we enjoy partnering with them in order to be able to invest back into the community. Building healthier communities is our motto, and we feel like schools are one of the best ways that we can do that. I'm starting my 34th year as the team physician for Northmont High School. It's been a great relationship, and I've enjoyed investing in the kids in the schools as well as our community. My job with the schools and with the teams is to attend the home and away varsity football games, but in addition to that, I feel like I'm really trying to invest in the kids' lives as well as to invest in our community. And so I make it a point to get to other events, both athletic as well as non-athletic, in order to be able to mentor kids and be able to invest into our community. Boy, the coronavirus has really changed how we interact with athletes and sports. Everybody's very committed to trying.
Throughout the 2020 season, the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group will recognize an exceptional senior student scholar athlete from each participating school. Here are this week's Jeff Schmidt Auto Group scholar athletes.
From Fairmont, Grace Wolf. Grace has a 4.19 GPA, is a member of the track and field team, and is the varsity football cheer captain. She is a member of the National Honor Society, a part of the DECA leadership team, and volunteers at several local organizations, including the Boonshoff Museum and the Ronald McDonald House. Grace is a 3-time UCA All-American cheerleader and a 2-time state champion for competitive cheerleading. She is also a 3-year letterman in track and field. Her goal is to attend a 4-year university and pursue a career in law. From Northmont, Alexis Boykin. Alexis has a 4.369 GPA and excels in volleyball, drama, dance, and track and field. She was named GWalk Field Athlete of the Year as a sophomore and has qualified for state in the shot put. Alexis holds the school volleyball record for most blocks in a season. She also volunteers at church camps and food drives. Alexis is a member of the Northmont Honor Society.
The Jeff Schmidt Auto Group is proud to sponsor the Scholar Athlete Award, featured on Thursday Night Lights. We are honored to recognize these scholar athletes from all over the Miami Valley for their outstanding academic and athletic achievements.
Break. Open right in the middle. What a catch! Looked like it was close to an interception, and instead, it's a touchdown. Colin Sierra.
They'll go up top trying to get it to Taylor. Taylor, did he haul that in?
And he was interfered with and tackled. My goodness. From the team and keep the officials out of the action, if you will. Pettit with time to throw for now. Gets away from the pressure. Flag down on the play. Rolls, looks, guns downfield. Has a man open. That's Nixon. Who makes the catch.
Goal. Miller here. He'll keep it. And he'll get to the corner for the touchdown.
And Rawls is going to go deep. He's got Hughes out there. Hughes gets a step and makes a great catch. Oh, my goodness.
Gives this carry to Malone. Malone picks up the first down, now hits it to the outside, and Cameron Malone, touchdown number 2. How about this? Wide open in the flat. Tim Few's not done yet. Another touchdown for the Thunderbirds. Peyton off the fingertips. Did he catch it at the second attempt? I think he did. Wow. Oh, what a catch. That was brilliant.
Those have been tough for Oxford tonight, and what a one-handed grab.
Unbelievable.
That's great concentration.
Halftime has been brought to you by Wright and Schulte.
Back here at Premier Health Stadium, 7-0 is our score. They're going to send it down to Danielle right now.
Hey, Doug, I'm here with Coach Miller. Coach, what did you tell the boys there in the locker room this halftime?
Well, we got to quit making mistakes. We had a good drive there at the end. We just didn't finish. I made a bad call there, too. Missed the field goal. We're in field goal range. So, we got to quit making mistakes. We did that last week, and that cost us, We played a good football game up until that fourth down there and let the guy get behind us a little bit. They've got athletes all over the place, so we got to do what we do.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Doug, you can see the players are getting off the field to get the game started, so I'm going to send things back to you.
I thought you were going to kick off for the Firebirds at this time there, Danielle. So we're going to have a kickoff. Here's some stats for you. That was a 41-yard touchdown pass from Cade Rice to Rod Moore with 7.2 seconds left in the half. Tank Gant for Fairmont has 20 carries for 46 yards. Keon Wright, 3 carries for 39 yards. And Cade Rice is for Northmont is 5 of 12 for 78 yards and that one TD.
Doug, a short halftime, only 10 minutes because the visiting team is not allowed to bring their band, which makes a lot of sense. And even the Northmont band didn't perform tonight because it's senior night. The Northmont band has 90 members in it. The director is Brian Wisman. And listen to this. They were named the 2020 Best Community for Music Education by the National Association of Music Merchants. Tremendous tradition of music out here. And boy, how about that Fairmont band? 250 members under the directions of Michael Burning, and they love doing that script bird after Script, Ohio.
Kickoff coming down, and it's going to go to Brownlee. This kickoff brought to you by Garage Kings. Another Garage Kings kickoff. Brownlee brings it up to the 33-yard line. That's where the Thunderbolts will take over 1st and 10, leading at 7-0 here in the third quarter.
Fairmont didn't want to kick it deep to the threats that Northmont had back deep. But you know what? Northmont's got athletes all over the place. There was nowhere to kick it, and Northmont got a nice return.
There's a good shot at Tony Boring in his 5th year. 31-23 is his record.
Fairmont staying in that 3-3 defense.
Rice going back to pass, goes out to the outside and goes over to Moore, and he drops it. It's going to be incomplete. That'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball will be at the 33-yard line.
Fairmont defensive line coach Pat Rancalli. He's one of the good ones. He's in the Miami Valley Football Coaches Hall of Fame. His son is the middle linebacker. That's called a bubble pass, where they just get it out there and try to let the receiver do his thing. The receiver just looked up. You got to catch it first.
Almost an offside. Here's a handoff to Jones. Jones is going to be met right at the line of scrimmage.
That's that big middle guard for Fairmont. That's big Damon Cutweiler, 6'5", 265, sophomore. He's going to have colleges all drooling all over him.
7-0 is our score. 11.5 to go here in quarter number 3. I don't think we'll have
Coach
a running clock tonight.
Going to bring some heat.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jones in the backfield for the Thunderbolts.
Here comes Roncalli for the middle linebacker spot.
It gets it over to Allen. Allen into Fairmont territory, down to the 49-yard line. That Fairmont first down is brought to you by Aristocrat Products. And that's another Aristocrat Products first down.
What a nice read by Cade Rice. He saw Roncalli coming on the blitz. He just dumped it right into where the middle linebacker vacated. Nice
There we go
job.
once again.
Good read.
This time Jones in the backfield, sidecar left. And a handoff to Jones. He's going to go up the middle, and he's going to run over a few people down to the 45-yard line. Penalty marker comes in from the near side.
Face mask. There's the Hall of Famer, Bobby Giuliano.
Face mask on the defense, number 45. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And Dave Miller said it. They got to quit making mistakes.
Oh, boy.
That's another first down brought to you by Aristocrat Products. Once again, 3 receivers going over to the far side, 1 over to the near side, and then that is Allen onto the near side. Jones in the backfield. Rice barking out as coming into motion is Brownlee to the near side. Rice going back to pass, looking down, and he's going to step up and run. He's to the 35 and going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 33-yard line by Jacob DeGlow.
Well, how did Rice get out of that? I thought the defense had him locked in.
Here's the replay.
Here you see the heat. Middle linebacker Jack Roncalli on the blitz, but once again, outstanding athletic talent.
That was a Cincinnati Toyota Dealers instant replay.
That's why Cade Rice has a lot of colleges looking at him.
Last year he was at Greenon and transferred over here because his mom moved up from Florida. Rice going over to his left, fires over to the far side, has a man open in Melvin Howard. Howard gets across the first down line.
Just a little sprint out, throw and catch. You know, one thing, though, that's a little harder to do. Cade Rice sprint to his left, which means he's got to throw the ball across his body. That takes a pretty strong arm to do that.
That Northmont first down was brought to you by Aristocrat Products. It's another Aristocrat product first down. 9:58 remaining here in this third quarter. Northmont driving as they got the ball to start this quarter. Rice goes over to the far side to Allen. Allen's got it, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds, but a penalty marker coming in, and that could be holding.
I think it's a legal receiver downfield. You know, I saw one of those big boys way downfield there.
Here's Bob Giuliano with the call.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
You know, Bob called number 78. I know they do that in college and pro. I'm not thrilled. It's the old coach in me coming out. I'm not thrilled about him calling high school players numbers. You know, on a mistake. Actually, what happened was he drove his defensive lineman back off the ball, and that's why he was downfield. But it is what it is. I guess people want to know who's making mistakes. For me, I'd rather not hear the young man for a mistake over the PA in high school. But that's the old coach in me.
There's a pass out into the flats to Brownlee. He has this one. He's to the 25, to the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Brought down by Evan Thompson.
Yeah. That hold was pretty obvious.
But we have a penalty marker down at about the 24-yard line.
Let's see what the Hall of Famer Bob Giuliano says.
Holding on the offense, number 3. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
You know, besides officiating, Bob's the assigner. So every school in the area, or most of the schools in the areas, he assigns it. Here it is. There you see the hold. Oh, yeah. You can see number 1 going down. Well, it doesn't look as bad there as it was live.
That was a Cincinnati Toyota Dealers instant replay. Now three receivers to the far side. Jones in the backfield next to Rice. On his left side, here's a handoff to Jones. He goes up the middle. He's got some running room. He's down to the 20-yard line. That's short of the first down by a couple of yards, but he's going to get down to the 21. They're going into the hurry-up offense. Once again, 2 receivers to either side now. Jones in the back, sidecar right. No, that's McKinney in there now. Rice back to pass, looking to his right, into the end zone for Allen, and it's not going to be. It's going to be incomplete because he stepped out of bounds.
Well, I want to see a replay on that one. That one looked awful close, and once again, it's an athlete making plays.
Here's your Toyota replay.
What do you think, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
He's out.
He's way out of bounds.
Good call. Hey. That's why Giuliano's in the Hall of Fame.
McKinney sidecar left to Rice. 2 receivers to either side. Rice will hand off to McKinney. McKinney's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, and a whole flock of Firebirds brought him down.
Coach Boring feels like he has 4 really good running backs, and while McKinney and Jones get the majority of the snaps, he feels like he's got 4 running backs, and he can go running back by committee back there. 4th down. We got a heck of a big play in the game right now.
4th and 5. Ball resting at the 22-yard line. So what's Rice going to do?
All right, Fairmont's got 7 in the box. He's going to throw the ball.
Jones to the right behind Rice. Rice back to pass over to the near side. Has Allen dancing around, and he's got the first down, I think.
What's the penalty, Doug? I didn't see it.
Is there a penalty marker down? I don't see it.
That's my man Justin Toll out there again. What a story. 13 years old, came over from the Congo. Let's see if we can see what the penalty is.
That was not a penalty. That was a towel that came out.
Oh, my mistake.
It's going to be a Aristocrat Products first down.
Yeah, they should have a rule about players having yellow towels.
Yeah. So they're in the Donato's delivery zone. He's right into the, throwing it over, trying to go get it to number 81 and TJ Gregory, and it just goes over his head.
You know, one thing, this is Division I football in Ohio. They let him play at a pretty physical level. The cornerback had his hand on the receiver's hip there. That's the way Coach Stevie McDonald teaches it. You see a lot of high school referees would call that. In my book, that's not pass interference. These are big, good physical athletes. Let them play.
He's
got the hand on the hip.
Here we go. Rice to the right, to the left side, has a man open in Jones, and he slips it to 10-yard line.
Snuck him out of the backfield.
Pick up a 5. Northmont has entered the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza is a great call after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important. 7:30 to go.
How about Northmont with a 5.5-minute drive? This is a page out of Fairmont's book.
Exactly.
We're going to be home in time for the 10 o'clock TV shows.
10 o'clock news on 24/7.
That's better.
On Fox 45. With Adam and Megan. Here's Rice. Across the middle, and pass is complete to Brownlee. Down to the 4-yard, or make it the 5-yard line.
This is what's called an option route, where the receiver runs right at the linebacker, and then he reads in or out, depends upon whether the linebacker is inside of him or outside of him. That's called an option route, and that was run to perfection.
It'll be 4th and 1.
My man Justin Tone on the coverage. I love him.
4th and 1.
Oh, here we go.
Jones in the backfield, McKinney in the backfield, sidecar right to Rice. Is Rice going to keep it? Is he going to hand off to McKinney, or is he going to throw it? Here's Rice going to keep it, and he's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown. That touchdown, Northmont touchdown, brought to you by Wayne Overhead Doors.
Not bad defended. They had someone on Rice. He just made the inside juke and got it in the end zone. There you see he fakes Jack Roncalli out. Gets in the end zone. 14-point lead. You know, a lot of coaches might go out of their game plan. Coach Dave Miller Jr. is going to come out, and he will just continue to run the ball and do what they do.
Long kick is up, and it is good. So with 6:24 remaining here in the third quarter, it's the Thunderbolts 14 and the Firebirds nothing. You're watching Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, a special Friday night edition presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. It's a full hour of can't miss family fun. Join host Steve Harvey for Family Feud weeknights at 7 and 7:30 on ABC 22.
You know, the scoreboard says 14-0, but this is one heck of a close game. Northmont converted about 4 times on that drive, came up with big plays where their athletes made big-time plays. Let's see what Fairmont comes back with.
Gant and Holt, right back deep. Here's Holt. Holt up to the 50, that was Psalm. Psalm gets up to the 21-yard line. That'll be 1st and 10. This kickoff brought to you by Garage Kings. It's another Garage Kings kickoff. So that'll be 1st and 10 for the Firebirds at their own 22-yard line.
Yeah, we talk about the blocking of those Fairmont wide receivers. Their coach is Coach Pedro. He's a former Fairmont quarterback. Went on to play at the University of Akron. His father, well-known Kettering policeman for over 30 years. The Pedro's outstanding Kettering football family. They come from Massillon, Ohio, my hometown, so I know the Pedros.
Here we go. Man coming into motion, handoff to Gant. Gant's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage by a whole bunch of bolts. He's going to pick up maybe 3. We're going to send it down to Danielle Malagary. Danielle, what do you got for us?
Yes, that is right. I am over sitting here in the student section of Northmont High School. This is Boltman right here. I asked him to show me how he gets the crowds pumped up. It looks like he's tossing the job over to somebody else. But here we go. He tells me this is called the roller coaster or something like that.
There we go. And as Helen keeps it, ball goes down to ball's at the 25-yard line. No gain.
That was the midline option. Just a little change up from their regular option. There we go.
I don't know about you, but I've never seen anything like that before, and it was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Boltman. We're going to send it back to you, Doug.
Boltman. Got his bolt cave somewhere.
Daniel, we expect you to have that down by next week. We want to see you up there doing
That's
it.
right. Who, me?
And you and I are a little bit.
No, I don't think so. I do not think so. Here's pass back to right up to the 27-yard line. Pickup of 1 or 2. It's going to be 4th down.
Brought down by number 10, Rod Moore.
Now what do you do now? They need 14 points. They need 2 touchdowns, but they still got a quarter and a half to go. What do you do?
What I think Coach Miller is counting on, he's counting on a Northmont turnover. He feels that he's going to stay with his game somewhere along the line here. Northmont's going to turn the ball over. Northmont, on the other hand, says, hey, we got the athletes. We're going to keep going to our guys and see what happens.
Back deep for the Thunderbolts will be Brownlee and Moore. Holt kicks it away, coming down, and it's going to hit at the 40-yard line and take a Fairmont bounce, going down to about the 22-yard line. And we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it'll be Northmont Thunderbolt ball. You're watching Premier Health Thursday Night Lights special Friday night edition, presented by Cincinnati Toyota dealers. After tonight's game, get your full first warning weather weekend forecast from Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters, only on Dayton 24/7 Now News at 10 on Fox 45. And I know she's got a great forecast coming up for us this weekend. It's a gorgeous night here at the stadium, that's for sure. Here we go. Northmont has the ball, 1st and 10. Ball at the 39-yard line of Northmont. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. There's a pass. Cameron Jones gets the pass over to the near side.
There's my man Justin Toad. What a story. He thought he went to soccer practice. 13-year-old from the Congo, he and his 5 siblings. You know, a little bird told me maybe Tom Archdeacon might be talking to that young man. What a feature story. What a human interest story. Here he is, the starting outside linebacker. Didn't even know what football was 3 years ago.
2 receivers to the far side. There's Rice back to pass, coming over to the near side. He's almost had Allen, but it was broken up by Psalm. Ethan Psalm in there on the stop. So, here's the Toyota replay. Psalm almost had it. As you can see, here we go. Rice back to pass once again. Coming over to the near side. Has Allen into Fairmont territory. Brought down by Psalm. At the 48-yard
do with that. A 12-yard out. He sprints down. By the time he turns his head around, the ball has long ago been released by Rice. That's timing pattern.
Allen going to Michigan along with Rod Moore. Jim Harbaugh's got to be happy to have him. There's a handoff going to Jones. Jones has a lot of room up the middle. He's going to get it down to the 44-yard line.
Jones in the carry for the Thunderbolts, brought down by number 33.
Brought down by number.
Jack Hadley. Second down.
Second down. If you have any pictures of tonight's game, you want to join in on the discussion online, follow us on Twitter at Dayton 24/7 Now. Use the hashtag Thursday Night Lights. Next week we will be at Northwestern on Thursday night. There's Rice. He's going to tuck it and run. Rice has the first down and more. He's to the 35, down to the 30, down to the 28-yard line.
That was just a quick outright pattern again to Marcus Allen, and Rice pulled it down wisely and took off for the run.
That Northmont first down. Here's the
his
replay.
athleticism.
That replay brought to you by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. That Northmont first down was brought to you by Aristocrat Products. It's another Aristocrat Products first down. Rice calling out to play, going back to pass, coming over to their side. He's got Allen. Allen at the 25, pushed out of bounds by Somm at about the 20-yard line. Make it the 22-yard line.
That's a package play. What that means, Doug, is he's got two plays called there. A run play or the quick out to Allen. If the outside linebacker is way out, he's going to run the ball. If the outside linebacker's in, he's going to throw to Allen on the quick stop pattern. That's a good read by Cade Rice. Just a very simple combination run-pass read by the quarterback.
Three receivers to the far side, one to the near side. Rice looking over to his left now. Rice will hand off to Jones. No, he's going to keep it himself. Going over to his left, he's to the 20, down to the 15, down to the 5, and almost to the 5 and out of bounds. It's going to be out of bounds, I think, about the 9-yard line.
That's a read option. What happens there is Cade Rice is looking at the defensive end of the front side.
Here's
so
the
right now
replay.
You see his eyes there. He saw the defensive end close a little bit. He keeps it. Outstanding athleticism. You know, as much as the two Michigan commits are dominating the game, I think Cade Wright's athleticism is one of the big factors in this ball game.
That Toyota, or that first down by Northmont is brought to you by Aristocrat Products. It's another Aristocrat Products first down. Northmont has entered the Toyota's or the Donato's delivery zone. As Jones will pick up maybe one or two.
That was just a base dive. There's no read or anything. Just run the ball up the middle. Nice tackle by Jack Roncalli. You know, again, his dad was the defensive line coach there. But he's a good football player. Outstanding young man. I got a chance to talk to him. He just loves being a Fairmont Firebird.
Here we go. 1:38 remaining here in this third quarter. Northmont in the Donato's delivery zone. Jones sidecar right to Hicks, or to Rice. So into the end zone, touchdown. And it's going to go to Marcus Allen. A 6-yard touchdown pass. No, it's a 6-yard touchdown pass. That touchdown by Northmont is a touchdown brought to you by Wayne Overhead Door Sales.
You know, it's a game of inches, Doug. You know, the Fairmont defender is an inch away from catching that ball and going 99 for the house and 14-7 ball game. Instead, Marcus Allen is just cool and calm, catches the touchdown.
Here's Vaughn on the extra point, coming right at you. And it is blocked, as it was a bad snap, but I thought I saw a penalty marker down, but it was Vaughn's shoes. Or somebody's gold shoes. So 1:20 remaining here in the third quarter. And it's now 20-0 in favor of the Northmont Thunderbolts. Here's the replay brought to you by Cincinnati Toyota dealers.
There's that inch. Boy, he's one step quicker and he's house.
So, we got $1:20 left in this third quarter. Going back deep for the Firebirds, Somm and...
I wonder what Coach Harbaugh is doing tonight. You think he's got a chance to watch our broadcast and see the two of his guys have an outstanding night?
Scoring summary brought to you by Premier Health. A 61-yard drive, a 6-yard touchdown reception by Marcus Allen, and it's 20. And the kick was blocked. Here's Vong's kick coming down, and it's going to be caught by number 1 in Somm, and he's going to be stopped at. And we're going to have a little bit of extracurricular activity. That was Keon Wright that had the ball. That scoring summary brought to you by Premier Health.
We have a dead ball, personal foul on the defense, number 37. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That kickoff was brought to you by Garage Kings, another Garage King kickoff. So that was one of those dumb penalties.
You know what, though, Doug? Coaches hate unforced mistakes like that. Here's one thing. There's mistakes playing hard. You'll see him. He gives that extra shove right. Here's that extra shove. You know, the whistle blowing. You don't need, but it's an aggressive mistake. You know what? I always told my teams, if you're going to make a mistake, make them hard.
First down and 10 for the Fairmont Firebirds at their own 38-yard line with a minute 13 left.
End over formation.
Hand off to Gant. Gant round right, off right tackle. Gets up to about the 41-yard line. Pickup of about 3. They're going to mark it at the 40, so pickup of 2. Second down and 8. As we are under a minute to go here in quarter number 3. 20 to nothing. Firebirds trailing it.
You know, one thing about the Fairmont offensive linemen, they're not trying to knock the defense off the ball. They're just trying to tie them up. And a lot of times they're going for their legs. Defensive linemen hate going against this offense.
So Hillen going underneath center once again. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Right going into motion. Hillen keeps it, cuts up field, and he's got the first down up to about the 50, almost to the midfield. So it's going to be a Fairmont first down. This first down brought to you by Arby's, or Aristocrat Products. I'm sorry. It's another Aristocrat Products first down.
15 seconds to go in the quarter.
Clock running.
Coach Miller's going to let the clock run out.
So
there's 56. Phillips, Quasey.
Next week, join us next week on My TV Dayton at 7 o'clock when we head to Northwestern High School to catch the Indian Lake Lakers taking on the Warriors of Northwestern. So here we go. We're going to hand off to Tank Gant once again, and he's going to get down to the Northmont's 45-yard line to pick up a 5, and that's going to do it for the fourth quarter. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights special Friday night edition presented by Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Back after this timeout, we move to the fourth quarter. Back here at Premier Health Stadium in Clayton, Ohio, home of the Northmont Thunderbolts. It's 20 to nothing as we move to the fourth quarter of play. Northmont has the ball 2nd and 5 at their own 45-yard line.
Here you see a good shot of Coach Tony Brewing. I wish everybody could go in and see their football meeting room. They have a board of their current college players. And when they finish, they move over into a very special area for their former college players. Then you keep going on the wall into their NFL players, which they've had 7 or 8 NFL players. You talk about a guy trying to build on the pride of the Northmont football program going all the way back to the Ned Booher days. Tony Brewing buys into it, and his staff, of course, they're all Northmont guys.
There we go. 1st and 10 for Fairmont. There's a handoff to Gant. Gant around the left side. And he's down to the 42-yard line of Northmont. I thought Northmont had the ball, but Fairmont has it. Sorry about that.
I'll talk about Sean Heingender. He's an interesting story. Big, strong outside linebacker. I got a chance to talk to him this week during practice. His dad is a nurse, and he is so proud of his dad that his dad, all through the COVID crisis, went and risked his life for others.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching Premier Health Thursday Night Lights special Friday night edition presented by Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Back here at Premier Health Stadium, Rod Moore was the injured player. He's up and running off the field. But I tell you what, every week when I do my games on radio on the Gem City Sports Network, I talk about these trainers. They do a heck of a job day in and day out, keeping these kids from getting hurt. They keep them hydrated. They do a tremendous job. It doesn't matter what school you're at, whether it be Northmont, Fairmont, or any other school. These guys do a heck of a job, and they ought to be commended for it. Here we go. Gant will get the ball coming around the near side. Gant's got some running room. He's to the 40, and he's going to be tackled by a whole bunch of Thunderbolts at about the 37-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a first down.
Speaking of trainers, the trainers for Northmont are Jordan Espall, Eric Newman, and Aaron Geiger, and they work as a team together. And you talk about a good one. Over there on the Fairmont sideline is Erin Kane. She's been around for a long time. I got to know her really well when she was the head trainer at Dunbar, and I was coaching in the city opponents. She is one dedicated young lady.
That Fairmont first down was brought to you by Arby's.
Boy, the Tank lived up to his name on that one, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Two receivers, one to either side. Man coming in motion as Helen going back to pass.
Wide open. Oh, we go. There we go.
And Wright goes into the end zone for a touchdown for Fairmont. That Fairmont touchdown was brought to you by Wayne Overhead Door Sales. That was a nice play by Helen to Wright. And it's 20-6.
That option will do it to you. They don't throw often, but when they do. You know, it's absolutely crazy, Doug. Dave Miller right now is telling his team, we got them right where we want them. He says they're going to get a turnover, we're going to get the ball back, we're going to win this ball game. Because remember, there's an missed extra point on the board.
Here's Holt trying the extra point to make it 20-7. At a bad snap, Holt picks it up, fires it, and it's incomplete.
So much for that extra point advantage.
So we're going to toss it over to Danielle. What do you got for us, Danielle?
Some Fairmont High School cheerleaders. Haley, talk about how special it is to be out here tonight.
It's actually really nice that we get to have a season. I know most of us weren't expecting it, but it's really nice that the school's trying to get it as normal as they can for us, and us seniors especially.
Absolutely. I know the boys are down a little bit right now. What are you going to do to pump them back up?
I'm going to rally them up, keep a positive mindset, and try to get the crowd involved. So that way they hear us and know we're here for them.
Absolutely. And they have been doing a great job, Doug. They have some awesome moves. I'm going to send it back to you.
The cheerleaders and the band, they do a heck of a job each and every week. Here's the touchdown brought to you by the...
Wide open. Well, that's that option offense. They don't throw often, but there it is. You know, I was a little worried. He had his body twisted there. Actually, pretty athletic move to catch that ball.
Here's the extra point.
Oh, boy.
And that
yeah. You know,
the holder couldn't grab it right away, and that was Zach Hutchison.
That'll go down as a missed extra point on the kicker. I'm not going to put the blame on him for that one.
That touchdown was brought to you by Wayne Overhead Door Sales.
There's Coach Miller. Character. You know, one thing his teams do, they run on and off the field. There's the fake extra point. That's a decision by the kicker. If he thinks it's there, he's allowed to take that.
This kickoff brought to you by Garage Kings, another Garage Kings kickoff. Here's the kickoff, and it's a squib kick coming down, picked up by Moore. No, I take that back. That is not Rod Moore. That is Deshaun Harewood. It'll be 1st and 10 for the scoring summary brought to you by Premier Health. 62-yard drive at TD reception by Keon Wright.
Let's see what defensive coordinator Stevie McDonald comes up with. You know, Stevie, UD proud. He's one of the top assistants in the area. Every time the head coaching job is open, his name is mentioned. Mike Fisher down at Springboro, everyone would love to have him. Mike's pretty happy at Springboro. Maurice Harden down at Chaminade is another. Corey Harden at Chaminade, Julianne. A lot of top assistant coaches. Stevie's name's right at the top of every list.
Two receivers to either side.
Fairmont's going with a four-man line.
Rice going back to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run with it. He's to the 30, 35, to the 40, 45, 50, and brought down into Fairmont territory at the 47-yard line.
Boy, Rice's athleticism is such a factor in this ball game. You know, he's hurting you with his arm. He's hurting you with his legs. I'm sure there's a lot of colleges like what they're seeing. There's the scramble again. That's athleticism. You know, Northmont's got to be a little frustrated. They had him caught in the pocket a number of times, and he just sneaks out.
This is a Northmont first down brought to you by Arby's. And that was a Premier Health instant replay. 10:55 and counting. 20-6 is our score. This time, Allen wide to the right, three receivers to the near side. Here's a handoff to Jones. Jones up the middle, gets down to the 45-yard line. He's brought down by by number 29 and Evan Thompson.
Elijah Swallow in on that tackle. Nice size, 6 foot, 235-pound junior. Swallows another good one up there.
Second down and 8 at the 45. Here's Rice back to pass, coming over to the near side, has Brownlee. Brownlee up to the 35, getting some running room, and a penalty marker coming in. They may be bringing that back.
Face mask, Fairmont.
So that's going to be another. They're going to tack on a few more yards to that one. Here's Bob Giuliano with a call.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 29. 15-yard penalty, mark off half the distance.
15, intentional face mask.
First down.
Javion Brownlee, only a sophomore. Here's another one of those guys, just a one-on-one, get him the ball, let him be an athlete.
There it is, right there. There was
Javion had played a little bit as a freshman last year. You talk about a bright future.
That replay brought to you by Premier Health. That's another Arby's first down, too. There's a handoff. Rice going to run out of bounds.
It's the read option again. Reading whether the defensive end crashes. He will pull the ball. The defensive end sits. He'll give the ball, obviously. The defensive end is crashing, so Cade Rice is keeping it.
Northmont has entered the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza is a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery, donatos.com. Every piece is
There's
important.
my man Justin Tone. What a story. I root for every team, but I'm rooting for that guy. What he's overcome and what he stands for. I'm a huge Justin Tone fan.
Here we go. And a man moves, and it's going to be brought back 5 yards. The right guard moved.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. Number 60, penalty, remains, second down.
Here he jumps. You know, Doug, it's been a pretty smooth game. The team's not having scrimmages and all the different things they've overcome. There haven't been a lot of penalties or mistakes of technique.
There's a handoff to Jones. Jones goes over to the right side, being brought down by
Jack Roncalli. That is the middle linebacker. I mean, this guy's movie looks good looking. I mean, he is one handsome young man, and I can say that because I'm friends with his family, of course. But man, is he tough. And you talk about contact. I said, what do you like about football, Jack? His eyes light up. He said, I like to hit people. 205-pound middle linebacker.
Third down.
Special family, nice people.
Third down and 15. Ball resting at the 20 or at the 18-yard line. And whistle, and what do we have here? Here's the referee. What's the call?
Dead ball, false start on the offense. Number 3, 5-yard penalty, remains, third down.
Allen called for the penalty.
Yeah, I think he lined up in the zone.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
So
Allen
Allen
standing right next to the receiver up there.
Allen and Brownlee wide to the right this time. Good snap. Rice going back to pass, going into the end zone, and it is intercepted. It is intercepted by Fairmont.
I think he's out of bounds, Doug.
Oh, was he out of bounds?
Great play. Hey, even Psalm's having a big night. That guy is playing a good football game against big-time players, but he is really playing well. He's out of bounds in that particular play, but he was in perfect position. He's playing like an all-league player in my book. There he is. That's what you want to do. You want to wall the receiver into the sideline. Whoa! Oh! Wait a minute!
Let's see that again.
I think that foot came down. You know, we don't have replay during the regular season. Hey, can we show that again, guys?
And timeout is called.
Timeout Northmont. That is their first charge. Timeout of the half.
What do you think out there? If we can get a good look at that.
There we go.
There we go, guys. All it takes is 1 foot in high school. He's got possession.
No, his heel was on the line.
Out. All right.
His heel was on the line.
Hey, Bob Giuliano's the Hall of Famer. He don't make mistakes.
Northmont calls timeout.
Got it. It was a great play regardless.
Coming up next week here on Thursday Night Lights, it will be a Thursday night game as we will be at Northwestern High School as the Warriors will host the Indian Lake Lakers.
Hey, Doug, throw out some names for me for MVP. Who you like? Who are some of the guys playing?
Oh, man, I tell you what, Cade Rice, Tank.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm a defensive guy, man. I like that Jack Roncalli. He's been all over. But how about the student rep from Northmont, the guy, the entire student body for the representative of the Board of Education, Philip Corsi.
There we are. Hey, guys, how you doing?
500 pounds of beef up here broadcasting tonight. How you doing? Man, this is fun.
Having a good time here
yes,
at
we are, Doug.
Northmont High School tonight. I want to thank McCaw Harding for allowing us to come in and do tonight's game. Here we go. Rice going back to pass, and he's going to step up. He's got some running room, throwing into the end zone. Bradley was open, but he stepped out of bounds.
That's my man, Tone. Justin Tone back there. Man, he's got something to tell his family about when he goes home tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, I can't talk about him enough. Let's see what kind of, he's an outside linebacker who can run. Look at him back there in deep coverage. That's number 10. He gets his hands on the ball. The ball is caught, but he gets it and breaks it up. I love him. What a story. 3 years ago, he didn't know what football was. Thought he was at soccer practice.
So it is now. Fairmont has the ball on. They got the ball turned over on downs.
Coach Miller's telling them we got him right where we want. Stevie McDonald's defense held.
8:47 left here in this contest. This game is not over. It's a 14-point lead for the. Here's Tank once again. Tank bowling over people. And he is tough to bring down. He gets about 5 yards maybe.
You know what's tough is when your running back outweighs their linebackers by 25 pounds. Now the big Tank is rumbling tonight.
Tonight after the Premier Health Thursday Night Light Special Friday Night Edition presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers, watch Dayton 24/7 Now News and get connected. 8:18 and counting here in this fourth quarter. Fairmont has the ball. They trail by 14. Here's a handoff to Tank once again. Tank coming over to the near side. It gets up to the 36-yard line. And he's got another first down for the Firebirds.
You know, Northmont defense coordinator John Brands, he's a good one. He's in the Northmont Hall of Fame as half of the Northmont coaching staff. He's done a nice job attacking that option offense tonight.
That Fairmont first down is brought to you by Arby's. Gant, taking most of the snaps tonight. Man going in motion. Here's a pitch back over. Goes to right around the left side. And he's going to get up to about the 43-yard line.
Nice looking drive by Fairmont, starting to do the things they want. We got a ball game. I mean, these are two good football teams.
Taylor in on the stop for the Thunderbolts. 2nd down and 3. Ball resting at the 43-yard line. I see a handoff to pitch back over to the near side, right around the right side now. He's going to be pushed out of bounds into Northmont territory by Charles Lewis.
Nice job by Charles Lewis pulling up on that tackle. You know what? If he slams that guy in the ground, that's 15. This Lewis is a good football player. Good student. Outstanding student. And as I said before, so proud of his dad's military service, which I hope all of us are. Great family. Great Dayton tradition, the Lewis athletic family.
That Fairmont first down is brought to you by Arby's. 1st and 10. Ball resting at the Northmont 46-yard line with 6:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Man going in motion is right. They'll hand off to Tank. Gant rolling over people as he has a load to bring down. Gets down to the 33-yard line. Another first down. Another Arby's first down for Fairmont. Here's the replay.
That's just a dive option. Charles Lewis taking him on, but boy, he is rumbling now.
6:26 and counting. 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Tank once again. Gant down to the 27-yard line. Pickup of about another 5 yards. 2nd down and 5. Ball at the Looks like it's going to be at the 28-yard line.
Tackled by Eli Newberg. The Newbergs, they've been in Newberg here as long as I can remember, going back to the Ned Booher days. Great athletic family, a lot of college football players. Eli's got college offers. He's a good one.
Right into motion. Here's a handoff to Gant once again. And Gant gets down to the 25-yard line.
This is Fairmont football. You know what? I don't know who's going to win this football game, but I know one thing. Coach Miller's going to tell his team we didn't lose. If they would happen to lose, we just ran out of time.
They're
just running their offense.
They lost a tough one last week.
Oh.
They fit a 95-yard touchdown run, or a kickoff return by Centerville. And those two are big rivals, too, Centerville and Fairmont. I think it's bigger than Wayne and Centerville. Here's a handoff to Gant once again. Hillen's going to keep it. He's got the first down.
He's sneaky with that ball. I mean, he rides Gant. He puts it on Gant's hip and rides it in there and sucks the defense in, and then he keeps it.
Going to be brought down to the 22-yard line. That first down by Fairmont was brought to you by Arby's. We got the meat.
These are two. Look at the size of that offensive line. Big crews coming out there leading them. These are two good football. The G-Walk is loaded this year. Wayne, Centerville, Springfield, Beaver Creek, Springboro. It's loaded. Miamisburg. Here's the pitch.
Pitch out to Wright.
Oh.
Wright is going to be brought down at the 21-yard line. Maybe a pickup of 1. That'll be 2nd down and 9 at the 21-yard line.
You know, Rod Moore's out of the ball game, and while, they're running the ball inside, you just wonder what effect that has on the psychic of the defense, having their defensive leader on the sideline. I mean, they're a veteran team, 9 defensive starters. Moore just came back in. Let's see if that makes a difference.
4:25 remaining here in this contest. 2nd down and 9 for the Firebirds. They are knocking on the door here. It's Hillen calling the play once again. They trail by 2 touchdowns, and timeout is called.
Timeout, Fairmont. That is their first charge time of the half.
Timeout, Fairmont. We're going to take a break. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights special Friday night edition presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. Back here at Premier Health Stadium on the campus of Northmont High School. We got a good one going. 20-6 is our score. Fairmont knocking on the door. Ball will be at the Northmont 21-yard line, 2nd and 9. Northmont call. Each team has 2 timeouts left.
You talk about Dave Miller Jr. If there's any youth coaches or junior high coaches, you can coach any sport. If you want to watch a great practice, go out and watch Fairmont practice. The culture that Dave Miller says, everything in that practice is disciplined, is organized. He's a great coach. Tony Brewing on the other side, same thing.
Gant goes into motion.
There's the pass.
Hillen's back to pass. Man open over the middle, and Caleb Fortner, and then it goes over his head and out of bounds.
That's the big 6'5", the free safety last year is the defensive end. Fortner's a great name in Fairmont football history.
No, it looks like it was number 84.
Oh, my bad. I read the number wrong also.
No, Wilkins.
Yeah.
I thought I saw 24.
Yeah, that was my fault too, Doug.
So 3rd and 9.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 9, ball at the 21-yard line with 4:03 remaining here in this contest. Good ball game here at Premier Health Stadium. As Hillen falls down at the 25, so he's going to lose.
That was going to be a bootleg, but he ran into his own man. Watch this. He's going to fake the toss. He ran into Big Cruz, 6'5", 300-pound sophomore. That's a whole lot to run into.
Yeah, it is. It's like running into a wall.
He's going to be a good one. I saw him outside the Fairmont High School one day riding his bike to practice. This guy's a Viking. I mean, he is a Viking. This Division I school is going to drool over him.
Okay, here we go. 4th down and 13. Ball at the 25. Miller going for it this time. They can't kick a field goal. Here's a pitch back. Trying to get it to Wright. Fumbled. And it ball's back at the 36-yard line as Wright had to fall on it. Make it to 37-yard line. So Northmont's going to take over 1st and 10. That first down brought to you by Arby's.
Doug, I'm not so sure that wasn't going to be a halfback pass. I saw the split end slipping his man and going deep. If that ball would have got to the tailback, I think you're looking at a touchdown there. Good call, Coach Miller.
Dave Miller talking to his quarterback, Malik Hillen.
Hey, Coach, keep your head up. You run a great program with great kids. You represent the Kettering community. I'm a Kettering resident. I'm proud of Coach Miller. The band, the football team, hey, they got a great school system.
Here we go. Handoff going to Jones. Jones over to the right side. He's got some running room. It's all the way up to the 46-yard line. Going to be short of a first down. 3:07 to go.
I think Cameron Jones is saying, hey, don't forget about me. Everybody else is in the show. Hey, I'm a pretty good football player, too, and he just showed it there. Had 115 yards last week against Springboro.
Timeout.
Officials timeout for injury.
Oh, we got the dreaded cramps.
3:01 remaining here in this fourth quarter. As a member of the Firebirds are down.
You know, you have to hydrate your players. That's why hydrate.
This TJ Awards Thursday night trophy will be awarded to either Fairmont or
Please
Northmont.
set the play clock
So,
for 40 seconds.
Who's going to win it? It's 20-6 with 3:01 to go, and that's a lot of time left. So that's a nice-looking trophy.
Yes, it is.
I'd like to have one of them.
Oh, hey, you know what? I speak as an old coach. I loved when my team was on TV. These kids love the kids, young men. They're not kids. Love being on TV. You know, we walk around with our shirts and they give us a little wave. We're going up to Northwestern next week.
Yeah, you started playing. You started coaching there, didn't you?
1974. I was the head foot, and you talk about 2 wonderful years. I can't wait to go back to Northwestern, and I hope to see some of my old players there. I heard a couple were coming to the ball game. That is a real fine community up there.
Wait a minute. Are we going to see you in here, or are you going to be? Are they going to hold you down there, down in the seats? Here we go. Rice back into the shotgun once again with Jones. He's going to get the ball. Jones up the middle, and he's not going to make the first down. He's going to get up to the 46-yard line. Yeah. And he's going to be short a yard. So it'll be 3rd and 1. Ball at the 46. Making the 45-yard line.
Northmont's going to run some clock now. And take their time in between downs. Use every second on the clock. 25 left. They're going to snap it at about 3 or 4.
As you can see on our screen, Fairmont does have 2 timeouts left.
There's Jacob DeCrew, 22. He's hard-nosed. Boy, his brother was a fullback at Fairmont. You talk about a tough football player.
I think we're going to have a timeout called by Tony Broering. The play clock's down to 6. So they're going to call, looks like they're going to call a timeout, and they are. So Northmont's going to call their second timeout.
That is their second charge timeout of the half.
Tonight's okay. 1:49 left. Here we go. Tonight's. If you want to relive all of tonight's action, we will rebroadcast tonight's game on Sunday at 11 a.m. on ABC 22.
Yeah, I think Northmont is showing why they're the #1 team in the area. The Dayton Daily News has them ranked #1. They're loaded with experience, 9 starters back on defense, college football players everywhere. I hope they're in the top 10 in the state of Ohio. You know, sometimes some of those teams in Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Ohio, this ball club right here can play with anybody. They got the size, the talent, they got the coaching, they got the culture. This team is the top 10 Ohio team. They're not going to take a backseat to anybody, but they got some great games coming up. Springfield, Wayne, a lot of good teams.
I bet you a lot of these players will be watching. A lot of these players will be watching on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, teenagers, they may not get out of bed till noon. There's Rice. We'll hand off once again to Jones. Jones flies up in the middle. He's short of the first down.
What's Coach Broering going to do?
So it's down at the 4. It's at 46, 4th down and 1. Clock running and timeout called by Fairmont.
Timeout.
They've got one left.
Their second charge timeout of the half.
With 1:33 remaining in the contest.
What are you going to do, Coach Brown? You going to go for it here, or you going to punt?
I would say they're going to go for it.
Yeah. They look good. That's why I'm up
It all
here.
started with a Big Bang, the Big Bang Theory, weeknights at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Fox 45.
Hey, Doug, I've enjoyed being up here and doing the color with you. But you know, before I did this, I put a call in to one of my best friends, Bucky Bockhorn.
Oh, yeah?
The legend himself, the color man of color men. Buck's down a little bit right now. You know, he's got a little physical problem here and there. Nothing serious. But, hey, listen, anybody out there, wish Bucky good luck and get him back. And the Flyer Nation, the city of Dayton, one of the best. There's nobody better than Bucky.
Going
Buck,
back,
take care, brother.
Going back to kick for the Thunderbolts is Xavier Vaughn. And nobody back. And going back quickly. There's a high snap going over Vaugh's head. Going back to the 10-yard line. Vaugh's going to get it away. It's a high kick. And it's going to take a Northmont bounce all the way down to the 40-yard line to the 39, and that's where it's going to stop. He kicked that ball at least 50 yards.
Great job by the kicker. I mean, just a great job by the kicker. That was the turnover that Coach Miller's preached to his team. They just didn't quite convert on it. You know, Fairmont was in a return. If we get a run,
there it is.
Watch the Fairmont defensive line just sitting there. They are in a return with just the two guys coming off the Northmont north side. Okay, what a job by 43 getting that ball off. He didn't get that ball off. Fairmont's got the ball on the 10-yard line.
So now they got the ball 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line with 1:17 left. Gant, the carry for the Firebirds, up to the 47-yard line. They're going to go into the hurry-up offense. Hillen sends it back to Gant. Gant coming around the near side and runs out of bounds at the 47-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 1, I believe. No, that's going to be loss of no gain whatsoever. So it'll be 3rd down and 2, ball at the 47-yard line for Fairmont. Glad you can join us here on this Friday night from Premier Health Stadium. Here's Hillen underneath center. Right into motion. He's going to get the pitch back. Going around the left side. Wright's got some running room. He's into the Fairmont territory down to the 44-yard line. The clock stops.
Hey, Doug, let's pick our player of the game. I think I'm going to let you win, Doug. We're going with number 1, Cade Rice. He ran, he threw, he used all his weapons. He's our player of the game, and he's involved in the play of the game. 42-yard touchdown pass right before the half, complete to Rod Moore, the Michigan commit.
Player of the game brought to you by Castle Roofing. Here's Gant. Gant dancing around and gets down to the 40-yard line. 30 seconds left. And timeout called. Fairmont's going to call their final timeout.
Hey, how about that player of the game? Cade Rice, number 1, the quarterback. He did it with his feet. He did it with his arm. He willed it to win. He really did a great job. And the player of the game, there it is.
That's Cade Rice right there.
That's Cade Rice running the ball. But also the play of the game was a 42-yard touchdown pass at the end of the half to win it. But there's the one that just missed by the Fairmont Soar. So he did it with his arm, did it with his leg. Cade Rice, player of the game. Congratulations, Cade.
Cade, a transfer from Greenon High School. I had him last year on Gem City Sports Network, and they were playing Fairbanks. And, you know, you don't hear too much about Greenon or Fairbanks or anything like that around the area. And he had a heck of a game against Fairbanks at Greenon. I don't know what Greenon's got this year, but I know they lost. When he transferred over here, they lost a heck of a player. The player of the game is brought to you by Castle Roofing, and it's going to be Cade Rice.
Play of the game, 42-yard touchdown.
Here's the play of the game, brought to you by Castle Roofing.
Rod Moore, just what an athlete.
He pulled it out of the hand of that guy.
Hey, this play of the game's got to be on that national broadcast. You know, all their play of the we got one right here in Dayton, Ohio now.
There we go.
That's a play of the game for a national. Here's the deep
Hillen throwing down, and it's intercepted by Killen McPeak. McPeak's got some running room. He's up to that's Terrence Wright. Wright gets all the way up to the 50-yard line, and that's going to seal the deal for the Northmont Thunderbolts. It'll be 1st and 10 at midfield, and all Cade Rice has to do is take a knee, and we're going to go home. They're going to present the trophy to the Northmont Thunderbolts.
That's all they can do. Throw it up, try and take a chance. Nice play, though, by Wright.
All the way up to the 50-yard line. Tony Boring's probably telling him to just take a knee because Fairmont they have one timeout left. 1st and 10, ball at midfield. We had a barn burner tonight, that's for sure.
Good football game. And you know what? Fairmont did what they wanted to do. They ran the ball. They just broke down a couple times, as Coach Miller said, mistakes, but they were hard mistakes. You know, they weren't unforced mistakes. They were hard mistakes.
There we go.
Good game by Northmont. Coach Boring's got to be happy he got out of this one with a win. Every week's going to be a meat grinder in this G-Lock. But right now, I think they've stepped up as the favorite. Northmont's in a good position. #1 Dayton Daily News. Let's see what they do next week.
Your final score, the Northmont Thunderbolts 20 and the Fairmont Firebirds 6. And we're going to take a break. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights special Friday night edition presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. Back here at Premier Health Stadium, we're going to send it down to Danielle Malagary with the trophy presentation.
That's right, Doug. I'm going to go ahead and hand this awesome trophy over to Coach Boring. Coach, congratulations. What did it take to beat that other team tonight?
Well, it took a total team effort. The defense played fantastic. I was so proud of them. I told them at halftime they were playing great. They kept us in the game. And then on offense, we got some really good players, very explosive guys.
Absolutely. What do you think these guys need to work on the next couple of weeks?
We're just going to have fun and celebrate this weekend. Right, fellas?
Yeah! Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, that's all that matters. We're going to let them get to the celebration, and I'm going to send things back over to you, Doug.
Thanks, Danielle. And going to have I know they are one happy group over there with Northmont. Before we go, we'd like to say a special thank you to Northmont High School and Fairmont High School, Dayton 24/7 Now, Donato's, Wright and Schulte, and the Jeff Schmidt Automotive Group. So, good night from Premier Health Stadium and Thursday Night Lights, special Friday edition, presented by Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Join us next Thursday at 7 o'clock for Indian Lake at Northwestern on MyTV Dayton. Tonight's final score, the Northmont Thunderbolts 20 and the Fairmont Firebirds 6. Good night from Northmont High School.